What's up, Nitwits? Damo99 here, and with me as always, Game Over Joey.
Hey everyone.
And we are here to talk about the game of the year, like we all predicted. Back for Blood. Let's go. Joe, let's open this up. So far, I'm amazed at how successful this game has been, in my opinion. Sure, there are little flaws, but it's been running smooth. It's that Left 4 Dead 3 that we all were waiting for.
Yeah, so far I absolutely love the game. It is playing flawlessly. It is a huge improvement over the beta that we played roughly a month ago. Um, I mean, I only have positive things to say about. I guess I have a few negatives. We should definitely give it some critique, right? We don't want to
Yeah,
sound like we're fanboys here, but I think we both
yeah,
know we are.
yeah. Mass Effect never paid me, so we'll critique this one
Oh,
just in case.
wait, did we get paid? No, that'd be great. Um, so yeah, you know, I guess I'll start with some of the things I've been enjoying personally, and I think a lot of the same stuff that you're enjoying. But so far, Dom and I have played the game quite a bit together, um, and I've done a little bit of solo progression as well to see, just playing by myself to see how just how that plays and so forth. But what I have to say is I absolutely love the new special infected. I think they're a fun to play against. I think that the zombie hordes are perfect. The environments are great. I think the level design is excellent. I love. I know the card system is a little finicky, and it could be a little daunting, but I truly enjoy it. I think it adds a new element to the game. It can change up your gameplay style. Um, I truly am enjoying the game. The only drawback I think personally, in my opinion, is number one, it does lack content. There's 4 acts with what 20 or so missions, and
Yeah,
we
roughly.
yeah, and we beat that in a matter of 6 7 hours. In all reality, right? We have more time in that because we did die a few times restart. But when you think about it, it did not take us long. We beat it really in a day and a half. Oh, well, I guess more than 7 hours, more like 12, 13 hours. But it was very short. And I know with a game like this, sorry about that, my window's open. I'm sure you heard that car or motorcycle, whatever it was. But, I think overall, fantastic game. Couple little drawbacks, but nothing they can't fix over time. One last thing I want to point out, that's a major drawback to me, is that the amount of special infected that spawn at once. Even if you're playing on recruit, the easiest mode. I mean, there was times where you and I were playing Dom, and we would have 2, 3 tall boys, 4 tall boys at one time. The exploders, 2 of those. Then we would have one of those things that spit at you, that get you stuck. And then we would have the equivalent to a hunter come grab somebody. And on recruit, especially when you're playing with yourself and 2 randoms that you don't know, and it got a little frustrating. And the bots, I think they're better than having new people play with you, but they're also really stupid. I feel the bots need to be enhanced and play better. But overall, I've enjoyed the last 20 plus hours we put into it. I'm excited to go back for more. I'm excited to see what they bring to the game. And overall, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the outcome of this game.
So I will say this is my first real big PC game. I
Yeah.
would say that and New World have probably been my 2 newest, biggest fun ones outside of Phasmophobia, but Phasmophobia had been out for a while previously. So I think getting into this and switching to seeing what PC's like, the difference between PlayStation to PC was dramatic.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I think this game really highlighted that for me. So maybe that's why I'm enjoying it a little bit more in that aspect. Um, Definitely think just overall the game's phenomenal. It's a lot of fun. It's short, but they've promised us 4 DLCs, correct?
Yeah. Yep. 4 DLCs. Yep.
So we're gonna get more missions. How long they'll be, who knows? Hopefully they're not just like little acts or anything. I mean, Act 4 is literally 1 mission, and it was probably the shortest absolute mission ever. So
Yeah, And not to interrupt, but I want
No.
to add to that Act 4. That was probably the most disappointing boss fight I have had in any game ever. Um, not because it, not because it was easy, because it was fairly easy after we got it down, but I was expecting more from the boss fight. I really
Yeah.
was. I was hoping for more action, more it to be more challenging. I know we died a few times, but once we figured out what we needed to do, there's no challenge for that final boss fight now. I mean, the Horde is the biggest challenge in that game, in the special infected. Right, that final boss, I felt like it was nothing,
Yeah.
and I was very disappointed in that final boss fight. I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong; it was fun, but I am disappointed in that.
I mean, I kind of thought we definitely would get more of like that's when we'd get like the 10 chargers and the reeks or whatever they're called and hunters and all them like
Yeah.
the stalkers I guess in this game. I thought that's when we get all of them dropped on us more so than anything. But hey, I mean, I think it was cool. Critique on that though, I love that there's so many different different um, infected or ridden as they're called in this one.
Yeah, yeah. No,
But
good point. Yeah, I agree.
I think one thing that I was kind of disappointed in is they have the same. They have three baselines of basically the same ridden
Yeah.
that then is adapted three different times and three different times and three different times. So you get like nine different ridden that are all the same type. So that's kind of cool. But I kind of was hoping for a little bit more of a crazy diversity. But yet again, like I guess the way I'm looking at it is I put a lot of pressure on this game. And I think a lot of people out there put a lot of pressure on this game just because the studio who was making it, it finally was a comeback. Like we felt everything was right. It plays great. It plays just like Left 4 Dead. I'm convinced they literally just took Left 4 Dead and this is the remake. This is the new one. So that's cool. But I mean, I think just like Left 4 Dead had things to work on, I think this game is, and I think it's going to have the community to continue. And
Oh yeah.
I really look forward to it. I have to say, we did a couple little speed runs and they're actually a lot of fun on this one. So I've never done that before, so I'm looking forward to keep messing around with that. But definitely, there's going to be a lot more content coming for Back for Blood from us. So
Yep.
looking forward to it. I would probably give this game right now like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I agree. I think an 8 is more than fair.
mhm.
Overall great game. I do think the replayability is definitely there, and I agree. It's a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. Absolutely right. I mean, there are obviously some core differences, but overall, it's definitely I don't want to say Left 4 Dead 3 because this game does have its own identity, but it
Yeah,
does have a lot of
definitely.
those same attributes. Uh, I do want to add one last thing, just because I really was thinking about this as you were talking. You actually made me think of it. Um, you know, as we both stated that the game itself plays pretty flawless. There's not too many bugs that we ran into. I know there's bugs
Yeah,
out there that people are having, but personally, we have not had really any bugs, if any. Um, but I don't like like as you stated, I do not like the fact there are 10 different written, but they're just like really reskins and revamped
yeah,
abilities. I mean, they just pulled a Destiny here.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, 9 of them are the same core group, and then you have the Screechers or whatever they're called. Doggers,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, whatever. But you have like that one, and that's just the one oddball. So, and that's fine. But like,
yeah.
I
No,
think like the card system too is a little bit of a flaw because sometimes they'll send more of this group and not this group and that. So
right.
it's learning its own way as well, but it's an enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're 100% correct, man. I do like the card system. It again, for lack of better terms, it definitely does feel a little daunting. And I do think overall it's a nice little ad, and over time, I presume that it's going to get better. I just wish there was more of a leveling system for your characters. I don't know what it is, but anytime, and you're the same way. Just think about New World, right? When there's a leveling system in place for you to level specific abilities or your just overall count level, I feel a little bit more wanting to do that grind. It gives me something to work towards, and I really, really think they missed that on this. I know Left 4 Dead didn't have it, but Left 4 Dead is also 10 years ago, right? So, regardless, Left 4 Dead's always been one of my favorite games, and it always will be. But last but not least, I think something that needs to be mentioned is the versus mode is trash, absolutely horrible. Not a fan.
You know,
Um,
I will say this because I think to preface this before like we just rip it to shreds. We were expecting the campaign playthrough where people would be also infected. So I
yes,
think that's kind of the problem. But I will say the swarm mode's not bad. So
see that's where I'm different. I think
yeah.
it's okay. I do think it's more close. If I had to rate Swarm by itself, it would be 4 out of 10. Flat
Mm.
out, 4 out of 10. There's no hesitation there, simply because it's not Left 4 Dead's versus, right? Left 4 Dead. The reason why the community is so big still is not just because of mods. Mods obviously plays a huge element in it, and I'll get to that here in a second. But because of the versus mode, the versus mode is amazing.
Yeah.
The versus mode is it really brings a different element to play. I'm a zombie, special infected, playing versus my friends who happen to be human, or vice versa. Fantastic. And honestly, I love hearing people rage when they get attacked by like 100 or something in Left 4 Dead. So it's fantastic. Secondly, going back to the mods, I think the mods are crucial. Left 4 Dead has obviously survived mainly because those mods play a key role in that game. And the fact that Little Turtle Rock Studios said, "Hey, we're not going to have mod support." They're doing it because they want to control the in-game purchases. I completely understand that, and the publisher is Warner Brothers, so that makes sense. They're pretty greedy.
Make that
Um,
money.
but still, that's so frustrating that as a PC game, a lot of most I shouldn't say most, but a ton of PC games have mod support, and to be a part of that, to really get that respect from the PC community, you need to have mod support, and that's where I do think this game's gonna die quite a bit. I do think it's gonna carry a core audience, especially if they keep updating it with new written, new levels. Hopefully, the real versus mode that we were expecting, it will grow and continue to grow from there. But until they do that, I do think we're going to see a heavy player decrease with the next couple of months up until that next DLC. But overall, if I just was doing Swarm, 4 out of 10. Overall, 8 out of 10 for the campaign side. I truly enjoy it. The deck system, again, is daunting, but I do like it. I give that an 8 out of 10. I actually do enjoy it. It does change up the game quite a bit. You can build a sprint class, better health, faster reloading, ammunition. I think
Daylight's a huge thing.
yeah, so I mean, it does bring a huge element to the team, and if you do it right and your team coordinates well, you can really have some advantages. So overall, I do think it's a solid 8 out of 10 overall for the game. And if you were asking me, is it worth the purchase? I say absolutely, but even better if you have Game Pass, do that. Now, I know Dom and I both purchased the game, but I also want
Shameless Game Pass plug by us again.
yeah, true. We definitely are Xbox whores here. But yeah, I know I'm referencing. I bought the game. Dom bought the game, and for that reason, I mean, it's definitely worth a buy. So if you want to buy it. Support the developers, and I would love to see what they do with this game in the future. And that's all I have to say.
I mean, I'm 100% with you. I think it's going to lose core, but I think this is always been a game where if you don't play for a little bit, it'll be fun just to jump back
Oh
into,
yeah.
do a couple plays. We have not played it on any of the harder difficulties yet. Actually, I think we did one time on veteran.
So yeah, I actually
And
did
ooh,
play a couple times by myself. That's when I was
ugh,
playing, and I will tell you, it is extremely difficult to the point where recruit was not the easiest. Let's just be real, right? Some
eh,
levels on recruit were difficult. But I can say this that yes, veteran is super hard. The nightmare, I can only imagine the difficulty. I know we played it in the beta and we couldn't get out of the room without dying.
yeah,
And I know somebody's going to be watching this thinking like, "Damn, these guys are bad." And honestly, we may be. I think as we get older, our hand-eye coordination is getting worse. But but overall, yeah, I agree with you, man. This game is a blast with friends, absolutely. Even alone, though, I enjoyed the game. So if you're a solo player, you know, here's my recommendation: add us on Steam. We'll play with you. We're always looking for people.
yeah.
But secondly, I really, really think you'd enjoy the game without friends too, because I did myself. I think Dom, you would too. It just has a really, I think easily the core game itself. I'm gonna get 40 to 50 hours out of it. Um, but yeah, that DLC, the mod support, the versus mode. If they ever bring a versus mode, which they've talked about, if they do though, I think this population will stay heavy. But Left 4 Dead 2, if you check out the player population on Steam, it's up there with Back 4 Blood still, and that just should tell you something. But yeah, 100%, man. Overall, fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean, just I guess like the funny thing is, it's such a great game, but it's where's it going to go from here? So this game has a lot of potential. This game has a lot of things, but one or two easy things. If they never add that campaign versus, if they don't do this, don't do that, the game will end.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be blunt. But honestly, guys, it's a lot of fun. Pick it up, play it. If you have Game Pass, it's free. Just download it. You already paid for it. I will say, like, different skins, different everything. It has its money purchases, its money grabs. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully, it doesn't get like Fortnite, where it's just beating over the bush for money. But
Hey, I'll be in big trouble if it gets there.
of course. But like I said, guys, look for more little walkthroughs, tips, tricks. I know we have done some runs of just finding the little secret stashes, so definitely look for those in the future. And as always, Nitwits, stay classy.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.